Why ancient cultures embrace death as a teacher. Why did ancient cultures not flee from death, but invite it into their temples, their art, their daily lives? Because for them, death was not an enemy, it was the ultimate teacher. The Egyptians understood this. In the halls of Ma'at, the heart was weighed against a feather, not to condemn, but to measure truth. Did a life align with cosmic balance? Death revealed what the living often forget. The Tibetans carried their wisdom into the Bardo Thodol, the so-called Book of the Dead. It was not written for corpses, but for consciousness itself, a guide for the soul, teaching how to navigate thresholds of light and shadow after the body falls away. In the Mayans, they built altars where food and flowers welcomed the dead back each year. Death was not exile, it was kin returning for a feast. Across civilizations, the lesson echoed. To face death was to face life. Death stripped away illusion. Titles, riches, beauty, all dissolved in the grave. What remained was essence. The Stoics made this wisdom their daily discipline. Memento mori, remember that you will die. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You may leave this life at any moment. Let that determine what you do, say, and think." For them, the presence of death was not gloom. It was clarity. Every decision sharpened when viewed against the horizon of mortality. But in modern times, we exile death. We lock it away in hospitals. We polish over grief with entertainment. We pretend permanence is possible. Yet in pushing death away, we lose the wisdom the ancients carried so close. That time is short, and therefore, every moment matters. Death as teacher awakens gratitude. It forces us to see the fragility of breath, the rarity of a sunrise, the fleeting warmth of a hand we hold. It reminds us that nothing is guaranteed, that love cannot be postponed, that meaning must be chosen now, not later. The ancients lived with this knowledge at the center of their rituals. They rehearsed death through fasting, initiation, meditation among bones, not to glorify decay, but to transform fear into wisdom. To know death is coming is to live awake. And perhaps this is the forgotten practice of our age, not to deny death, but to learn from it. For death whispers truths that life alone cannot teach, that everything you cling to will pass, that every treasure you hoard will dissolve, that your breath is more precious than you realize. So the question is not whether death will come, it always does. The question is, will you let it teach you? Will you walk as the ancients walked, side by side with mortality, letting its shadow illuminate your choices? The ancients remind us, death is not the end of life. It is the mirror of life. It is the guide that clears illusion, the teacher that sharpens presence, the wisdom keeper that makes every breath sacred. Will you continue to turn away, as modern culture does, or will you face death as the ancients did, directly, openly, and let it awaken you to the preciousness of living here and now?